But I got pretty good response from it, man. So that's cool. I mean, just based on the guys that are in here, I'm hoping that some of you guys took it to heart and will enter this thing, man.
I got so smoked last night. I miscalculated my fuel strategy, and I was 2 gallons short before the end of the race.
Oof.
Man, on those 45-minute races, you're better off just filling the car up and dealing with a heavy car than running out of gas, man.
I filled it up for qualifying, and I don't know how it reset when I got to the race because I had plenty of fuel during qualifying because I figured, let me just qualify with a full tank. I don't have to mess with it. But something changed, and I was 2 gallons short.
Ah,
Bummer.
So P2 down to P6 or P5.
I know that Klaus was like, I wasn't very fast tonight, but everybody pitted, so I won.
So,
Yeah, they're
Mike, I'm
actually-
attempting to record this, so no guarantees that I'm capturing everything, but I'm trying.
Okay. Anchor has
We should
told
get
me
our
that he's
profanities
going to
out
try.
now then, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. Britt, welcome, bud. You too, Mike Courtney.
Hey, does anybody know if Anchor is back in town yet or no?
Don't know.
Don't know. He did DM me, but I didn't ask him if he was back from Alaska or wherever he was.
The Yukon Territory. Canada.
He must be looking for gold.
Still shovels, makes more money.
Hey, Peter.
There's Anchor. Hello, Anchor.
Hey,
Hey, welcome back.
I need to get. Oh, you can hear me.
Yes,
can
we
hear
can.
Good, thank you. I will get OBS set up and click on record.
Oops.
Awesome. Between you and Yoakum, hopefully we get one good one.
I have to splice
you
things
ensure
together.
yourself.
So we still have about 3 or 4 minutes, gents. So I'm going to give time for others to get in.
Well, I just can't believe, not to be negative, but just the people we've lost in the last couple of days. Hulk Hogan, and I just learned, if any music guys out there, Chuck Mangione passed today. That was, I played the trumpet growing up, and I used to be able to play that song by heart.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear that. I heard about Hulk Hogan, but
Yeah, Chuck Mangione, he was, yeah, big time. Boy, that made everybody quiet, I guess. Jeez.
yeah, you're a real downer, Sean. Jeez.
Okay, Uncle Mike, calm down over there.
oh, jeez.
You got.
I got owned. You guys, I want you to click on my screen share, not Yoakum's to start with. So make sure you can see the helmets.
Quick question for you, Mike. So I saw that 70/70, it's in September at some time. You know, I can't guarantee, you know, that I'll be off for that thing. Would that inhibit me from like joining up and practicing or anything?
No, I'd say join and take your chances, man. It's on a Saturday night, Sean, so hopefully you don't have to work. Wait,
Well,
you're a pilot, right?
yeah, so private, yeah, so,
Okay,
you
so
know.
somebody could be heading to Morocco or Monaco or something, huh?
Well, I just got back 2 days, Palm Beach. So I was down there and then, so that's what I do. I get paid to be on vacation.
It's a tough life.
Sounds
man.
good.
I can tell you where to go, where to stay, and where not to go.
There's my 70 for 70 partner. You with us, Alan? You're muted. Okay, gents, it looks like it's straight up 7 here in Central Time. Caveat before we get started, we are recording this, so if it puts you in a compromising position, you might want to bail. So do follow the PCA rules, and let's try to keep it clean since we are recording this. So first things first, we're going to start a team. Okay, pretty easy to do. Not difficult to screw up though. So on my screen, we go to start a team. Oh, I've created the maximum of 5. I got to delete one. Okay, so what do I delete? I'll delete this one, I think. Oops. Let's see. Where do you delete it from? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's try it again. Start a team. Your team name. Okay, simple as that. We've created a team. It should, it shows up right here. Once you've created a team, take note, you guys see this right here, that 444918, that's the team ID. So when you go to sign up for a team race and it asks your team ID, that's what they're looking for right here. So once I've created my team and I want to add a team member, all I have to do, the ideal way to do this is to have your teammates iRacing number, but you can
696009. If I remember correctly.
then click on invite. Okay, so you guys notice I'm on roster, and right now I'm the only member of this team, right? Because Yoakum hasn't accepted the invite yet. If I click on invitations, I can see that I've invited him, okay? If I wanted to uninvite, I'd revoke it by clicking right there. But now all I have to do is tell Yoakum he's got an invite. And what's going to happen for him is, you see this helmet down here? He's invited me to a team. You see where it says invited here? These are my five teams and an outside team that I'm a member of and another outside team that I've been invited to. So if I click on this, right up here is where I accept the invitation. Okay, so if I accept that invitation, now I'm a member of that team. I don't own that team, but I'm a member of that team. Okay, so notice I don't have invite here anymore. Any questions on that?
Yeah,
So
I think
Mike,
people need to
you
know
can
where
go
to
to your
find
70 show
their
one
customer
again.
ID number.
I'm sorry, 2 of you were talking at the same time. One at a time, please.
Just show people where they can find their ID number.
Their driver ID number?
Correct. So when they go to add the name and the driver
Okay.
ID, they know where to find
Okay,
it.
I believe we can find it here on the helmet. If I go here, Is
Things
it
have
here?
You gotta go
moved.
to my account. Go
What's
back to
that?
the helmet. Go back to the helmet. Go to account.
Account, that's where it is. Okay, so
Customer ID.
Right there.
Yeah,
Customer
second one
ID.
down in the
customer
account
ID,
information.
right there. Click to copy, and there's my number, right?
So that's
That,
the only way you can do it. You can't start typing like Michael and auto populate.
you
You can take
can,
Michael Patterson, but
you
you'll
can,
get like 28 names.
right? And I'm Michael Patterson 7. So what's going to happen is all those Michael Pattersons are going to show up, and you won't know which is the right one. So
Okay.
that's why it's better to use the iRacing ID when you do this. Great point, Mike Sachs. Thank you.
Okay, I might go back to your 70s team. I've accepted the invite.
Okay. Okay, so now Joachim shows up as a member. I can kill him and get him off from there, or I can actually give him additional rights by making him an admin in the team. Okay.
And
So
correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to be an admin to register a team for a race.
I'm not sure, to be quite
No,
honest.
I don't think so.
I think you just have to be a member. Okay.
I
But
think you're right.
we're getting close to the trouble area. So we're going to close that. All right. So team names and IDs. So like I said, the number right underneath your team here is what you want to use to register for team racing. Just like, think of it as an iRacing number for a team, okay? Because that's what it is, right? So when you register for a team race and it asks you your team number, you're using this number here from the teams page. All right, joining a session. Here's where it gets sketchy, my friends, okay? And here's the biggest bugaboo that you've got to watch out for. Not leagues, I want hosted and my sessions. Okay, I have created a session for us to use tonight, but I don't want anybody to jump in there until I've gone through this, okay? So I'm going to jump in. This is a team race, okay? I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to choose car. Okay, here's the bugaboos. If you pick the wrong team here to register, all the king's horses and all the admins in the world can't fix it. You have to pick the right team when you go to register. If you select the wrong team, there's nothing anybody can do to get you straightened out, okay? So here's what I do and what I always push in team racing. Always meet in Discord voice. Put your whole team in Discord voice before you go to register. You agree on as to who is going to register the team. Usually it's the team manager, okay? So the team manager registers the team, and I'm going to go ahead and register this team, that 70 show, okay? And once I click on that, hold on.
What's the password?
70, all lowercase, the word, not the numbers. Okay, so notice once I've registered that team, it's down here at the bottom, okay? But it shows me other teams, etc. So, by the way, Joachim, I'm going to have you do it my way, and then we'll show your way, okay? You know
Yeah,
what
well,
I'm
I can
talking
only
about?
join once.
Okay. Let's do it my way because I've always done it that way, okay? And this is the most likely path people will do. So I've registered the team. Now what I do is I register as a driver for that team, Okay. And yes, you get prompted for the password multiple times. Okay, so this session is about to launch for me as soon as I click on join. Here's the deal. We will go to Yoakum's screen. Are you there, Yoakum?
Yes, everyone, if you go and watch my screen,
Yes,
my
let's
live
go to
button.
Yoakum's live button.
So now I can join in two ways. I can either find the session from Mike, so if I type 70s, I could go and through here. Asking me to pick a car, I could register as a separate team. The safest way, if you are a team member, is to not go through hosted, but to go through teams. Find a team that you're going to be racing on, which is that 70 shows team, and then you're going to click on sessions. And that's where your team shows up with the session. If you then click on password, and then enter the password, and then continue, you basically guarantee that you're registering with the correct team. You don't accidentally select the wrong one and get yourself in trouble.
Go to the page though, Yoakum, because I
Which
want to
page?
show them the hosted page. And go to that session. See if you can withdraw. Oh.
I don't think I can get back then.
Okay.
What are you trying to show?
I'm trying to show the other way of going in. Okay.
Well, why don't you register Carrie and have him do his?
Okay. I need to send you an invite, Carrie.
Yep. I hope my screen will show. I don't have my fourth monitor here in my garage set up, so we'll see what happens.
If you guys go to my screen now, you'll see what I'm doing. I happen to know that there's only one. So I'm going to invite Carrie to my team. Oh. Huh.
Did you there?
Oh, he's already accepted. That's why he's not under invitations. All right, Carrie. Now go to Carrie's screen.
So I've shared just the iRacing application. Hopefully, if the windows pop up, that it will show you. So
yeah. Okay. So go to our race. Oh, Yoakum, go ahead and withdraw because we're only allowing 2 drivers per team.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Choose the cup car, Carrie. Okay, stop right here. Here's where people make a huge mistake because they'll hit the drop down and go, oh my God, I don't see that 70 show. Okay. And they'll register themselves as a different team. Okay. Because the team is already registered. If you get off from that carry and go down to the bottom, you see that 70 show is already registered. All you need to do as the second driver is click that right there because you're only registering as a driver. You're not registering a new team. That's why you want to make sure that you coordinate with your team members the order that you do this so that the wrong team isn't selected, so that you don't freak out and select, Team Nick Paglia, if you will, instead of that 70s show. I'm not picking on you, Nick. I just saw your name. Okay. But it's a mistake that a lot of people make, and it's hard to rectify. It's hard to fix. Okay.
It's impossible to fix.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, let's go ahead, and if you go back to
Do you want me to
my
register in this one or go back?
see if it'll let you register. I don't know if it's got Yoakum as the second driver still or not.
Well, I withdrew,
Okay,
but it was
good.
actually
So,
showing, I think there were 6 spaces available in the team.
oh, really? Okay. All right. So if you go to my screen, you'll see that I'm launching the session. Okay. And once the session launches, we'll show you the difference between what you're used to and what you get in a team environment. While I'm waiting for it to load, one of the first things you need to remember is as you go in as a team, iRacing doesn't carry your setup with you. So the first thing that happens is you get launched into a session with the baseline setup. Okay, no matter what. So you have to then go and pick your setup. Okay, so if you watch my screen up here, oh, setup identical to Road Atlanta. So for this particular case, it's using iRacing's default Road Atlanta for the Cup car. Okay, notice also up here, there's start spotting and practice. Okay.
Are you back? I don't hear you, Mike.
Are you speaking, Mike?
You cut out there for a bit, Mike. And if
Oh,
you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Sorry, how about now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so if I click in the session, now I'm ready to drive. If I bail, notice practice is available, and now if he wanted, Kerry could jump in the car. Okay, because Kerry's my teammate, and I could spot for him. Okay, so first things first, change your setup. Second thing, when you get into the car, when you jump into the car, by default, you're on at team. Okay, does everybody know what that means? It means that if you're broadcasting, only your team can hear you. If you want other drivers to hear you, select all teams here. And each driver has to do that, okay? You probably want all teams so that you
Mike,
can do...
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
It's where it says scanner. All teams is what you're hearing. Transmitting is when you're actually there, selected. So now, if you transmit, it's on all teams.
Right, okay. So, and the reason you want to do this is so that you can say, pass me on my left, okay, or something along those lines. If you don't change to all teams, you're only talking to your teammate and your spotters, okay? You're not talking to other drivers on the track, okay? Anybody got any questions on that? Okay, so let's take one lap around the track. I don't know why it had me up in the sky.
Pit lane speed limit
I'm going to take one lap around the track and pull in
on the pit exit.
and give the car over to Kerry. when you go to change drivers, there's two different ways you can do it. The guy waiting to drive will get a remove driver button. All you have to do to get out of the car is hit escape like you do in a normal session to get out of the car. Usually whoever can do it fastest makes the most sense. So here it come into the pits.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Activate limiter. The limiter. Box in 1330 feet.
Nice cold tires.
Exit looks clear.
All right.
1330 feet.
Stop here, Mike, for a second.
Stop here.
Stop here for a second. So I'm going to very quickly show my screen for the stream. If you are not in the car, you will actually see at the top, normally it will say wait. If you drive now back, keep driving, Mike. Let's go to the pit box. It'll say wait until you actually get to the pit box.
5,
and then it will
4,
change to
3,
show
2,
to
1.
remove driver.
Box now.
So once Mike is stopped, for other drivers it will show that you can get in the car, and for Mike it should have the option to remove himself. I guess you already did, Mike.
Kerry kicked me out. Well, I escaped and Kerry jumped in. Yep.
I haven't yet. My screen is all a mess.
Okay.
But anyways, I can still make it work.
There we go. Just keep watching my screen then, guys. Who's this? Who am I looking at? Oh, they said. Oh, that's you, Kerry?
I did start streaming.
Yeah, go ahead and hit practice.
Do we go to carries now?
Yes.
So
So,
just go do a lap and come back or nothing.
yeah, that's fine. Although you've got all three screens, so we're in a weird
Yeah.
VR
I was trying to
view.
fix it and I screwed up all my own stuff.
So,
Anyway.
guys, one thing to point out, and you can talk about this more, Mike. Not all settings transfer from one car to the other. For instance, the pit limiter, Mike turns on the pit limiter when he comes in, but if another driver steps into the car, the default setting is for the pit limiter to be off. So you have to remember to turn it on. Otherwise, your first action in your race is going to be getting a black flag for speeding in the pits.
Also, along those lines, if you go to my screen, you guys see this right here? Click to become crew chief. Okay. This is very important, okay? If I click on this, I can do things like, say, add fuel when Kerry comes in. I can say, replace the tires, okay? But while I'm in here, Kerry can't be in here. And do not leave yourself in as crew chief. Click on it when you're done. Otherwise, when you change drivers, now the guy that's not driving can't get into crew chief to say, give me new tires when he comes in next. Okay? So don't ever leave yourself as crew chief. We had a guy that did that once. He was basically acting as everybody's crew chief in a 24-hour race, and he left himself in crew chief and he went to bed at 1 a.m. And we didn't realize it till we had to ring his actual phone to wake him up to get him to get out of crew chief so we could basically change some settings. So be careful for that bugaboo. Okay.
Wow.
I know. I know. So, you know, guys, it's not that hard once you learn some of these things. And the reason that Carrie, myself, and Joachim wanted to do this thing is we've learned these things the hard way. Okay. We've made these mistakes that we don't want you to make. Okay. So let's make sure that I've got all of my my things covered here. What did we not talk about that we need to?
Spotting. So, Carrie, why don't you drive? Start driving.
Okay.
Your exit's clear. Watch the white line.
Make sure you're live, Mike, not in replay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm live.
So for spotting, guys, where it says start spotting, stop spotting, you could technically just watch while you're not spotting, but if you actually use spotting, it tries to be as live as possible. If you don't use it, you can have a delay of up to like 1.5 seconds. So as you are talking about cars approaching, etc., the driver actually driving the car's already passed when you're starting to tell them about. So you use the start spotting function to ensure that you're watching it as live as possible. It is important to note that when you turn on start spotting, the iRacing spotter will disengage. So if you are using the iRacing spotter by default, that one will no longer be active. Now if you use crew chief or anything for spotting, that will continue to work, but the iRacing one will be turned off.
You guys, if you look at my screen, you're seeing that I pulled out and I'm using the blimp view. Sometimes chopper is better. Sometimes long far chase is better, depending on the trees or not, as you can see. But what you want to do is have as much room as possible to be able to see upcoming cars and the cars in front if there's a wreck.
Am I coming in?
Sure, that's fine. See if you can spin like I did. That's hard to do, man.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Engage limiter. Box in 1330 feet.
Okay, I actually said replace tires if I'm not mistaken. Oh,
Box in 5.
you cleared it
4.
when you came
3.
in, Carrie. I'm gonna.
2.
So my defaults. So that's a
Yeah,
good
hold
point.
on.
Box now.
My defaults are to have nothing set.
So that's
if
important to note.
Yeah. Okay, now you're gonna get tires if you pull into the box.
There it is.
But yes, that is an important note, okay? If your driver has those things set to clear, you need to do it while you're on pit row, okay?
No, I think it happens when I enter the car. I think.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
you can change it after he enters the
Yes.
car.
So yeah, as we're preparing to pit, for instance, and it's a couple laps before pitting, the crew chief, whoever is responsible for addressing whatever's going to happen in the pit, will be able to do that. You don't have to be on pit lane only.
Related to that,
That's my experience.
Related to that, if a driver is using crew chief to set fuel, crew chief applies the fuel when you enter the pit lane. So whoever did the crew chief setting the fuel to a certain amount, if you then leave the crew chief and the driver comes in, the crew chief of the driver is just going to set the fuel level to what they think is appropriate. So be cautious with that.
If you use the auto fuel, it will use your settings, but crew chief can override, so be careful.
Are we confusing crew chief, the role here, or crew chief, the software that many of us use?
I'm
Yes.
talking about the software crew chief.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
thought you were.
software crew chief can muck you up, okay? It's best to just use your teammate as your crew chief in this kind of scenario, especially for 70 because you only have to stop once, and you're probably going to get tires at one time, and you're going to fill the car till the end anyway. So you won't have to worry about it. Just the
So
one
not
stop.
using, this is about best practices. Sorry for being late here. Not using Crew Chief, the software, is a best practice for TRS.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
Especially if you know you're going to have a spotter. And that way, as soon as you go out to race, once things settle down, your co-driver clicks to become crew chief and sets the tire situation, sets the fuel situation, clicks on tear off or whatever, and then gets out of being crew chief. And that way, when you come in, all of those settings are ready for you to take over as the driver.
Yeah, and you two are communicating about that. You may have covered this before I joined here, but that's a best practice too.
Yeah, and you're right. You know that we did that when we raced as SC Team Blue, Randy.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So another
Any
thing,
questions on that, guys? Yep.
Another thing important to remember is when you're pitting and you're doing the driver swap, even if you're not doing the driver swap and you would go out for a second stint, typically you've adjusted your brake bias to deal with the fact that your fuel tank ran empty. So remember that when you make your pit stop, you readjust your brake bias for a full tank of fuel. Otherwise, you're going to be in for some surprises.
That's a good point. And why it's also best to try to agree with your teammate on, what you use for brake bias. It's generally best to get both of you used to the same thing so you don't have to change back and forth, but it's not a requirement. One other thing on driver changes, guys. The driver change clock starts ticking down once the new driver gets in the car. It doesn't start until that happens. So don't sit there and wait for your car to be fueled and get tires and then click on join, because that's 30 seconds. Okay, that 30 seconds, you can get your fuel and the tires changed and still be inside that 30 seconds. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is get that new driver in there to start the clock ticking. Okay, otherwise you'll end up with a 45-second or 1 minute stop instead of a 30-second stop. All right.
And all the pit stop details, tires, fuel, all of that does not change when you change the driver. That's already set and begun.
That's done down here using these settings. And by the way, pro tip, when you're spotting, you typically don't see this unless you hit F3. Okay, so if I don't hit F3 or I hit it again and I'm out of the car, the relative box does not show. Okay, if I was just watching Carrie drive, you wouldn't see this. So F3 gets the black box to pop up when you're spotting. Just FYI. Okay, because otherwise you won't be able to get to the crew chief button. So important little gotcha there. Because the driver can't do it. You don't want your driver to be making these changes while he's driving, right? All right. What are we missing? What haven't we touched on, gentlemen? You don't know because you're not the experts. We are, right?
Well, I got a question, Mike. I
Sure.
don't know. I don't know if it's kind of before or after. What?
Oh, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
No. So my question is, we jumped into this stuff, but my question would be, so if you don't team up with somebody, you said it was 2 people per team. Are you able to make a team? Well, it sounds stupid, but can you make a team and then just, if you're the only one out there racing?
Well, for 77 and 70 for 70, we're requiring 2 drivers. Okay. Some sessions and even some TRS sessions will allow you to solo drive. Okay. But that's not the spirit of it, Sean. Okay.
Mike,
We're trying to get you to have 2.
go to the teams, the entry page.
Trying.
You got to move the relative box. It's in the way, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Whoa.
Everybody knows the Alt K trick, right?
Alt
Okay.
delete.
So open this up.
Okay.
So this shows you the information of the drivers. Now, it's not showing yet, but when you look at laps, it shows 1 and 0. If it's a known race for a known quantity, it'll have information with like brackets, like 1 of so many, etc., 0 of so many. The requirement for the race, for this one, and for the 70s race, is 2 drivers. So if there's only 1 driver running at the end of the race, if there's only 1 driver, the result automatically gets disqualified. The second part becomes the rule which is called the fair share rule. The basics of the fair share rule is 1 driver must at least use, 25% of...
It's actually 18% of the total laps. 18% is what iRacing uses. So if it was a 100-lap race, one guy has to do at least 18 of those 100 laps.
Hi guys, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a coaching session with a student.
That's what, Nikki. We're just going over fair share.
Okay.
So when you go to this also, it
So
will
Mike,
show you in green.
Sorry, just reading
will
the
sh-
actual rule. A
Yeah.
fair share is calculated as 1/4 of an equal share of the race distance. So if the total race is 100 laps, if you're 2 drivers, it's 50. So 25% of 50 laps, so that is 13 laps, 12 and a half. You have to round up 13 laps. So that means if it's 100 laps, then 1 driver needs to do at least 13 laps, and the other driver can do the other 87. That will be considered a fair share.
But for 70 for 70, we've set it up to where there's a 90% fuel restriction. What that means is a car can only run, a cup car will only be able to run between 42 and 47 minutes on the track, okay? It's a 70-lap race, so it should be 90 to 95 minutes long. So for 70 for 70, yes, the fair share rule is in effect, but you'd be silly to let even your fast guy drive the car empty, fill it up, go back out again, and then have to come in and do a driver change so you'll get your fair share. So that would entail him stopping twice, right? For 70 for 70, if you just stop once, get fuel, switch drivers, you won't have to stop again. So you don't have 2 pit stops, you only have 1. And that it was set up that way to try to make sure that both drivers drive approximately 50% of the race.
Well, I get that, Mike. I guess my point is I'm not trying to be a lone wolf here, but if you don't have a team and you're not out there or knowing somebody that has a team that's not already filled, trying to get on a team that's inviting people so you can at least start practicing. That's where I'm kind of going with this. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you can join us. If you look in your teams, Sean, there's a team Sean Bailey, okay? By default, everybody gets a team like that, okay? But my suggestion to you would be find find another challenge guy. Find somebody else that you've raced with in the past. Create a team, send them an invite, and start practicing together. Find a setup that you both like, and we will have 2 full preludes for the 70 by 70 for 70 before the race ever starts. Okay. And yeah, we'll probably set those up so that if your partner can't make it, you can drive as a lone wolf. Okay. But when it comes to the actual race, we'll be setting it to where it requires 2.
Understood.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Any paint considerations. Okay. You guys still looking at my screen? I want to do this. Not that one. I want that one. You guys see my trading paints?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Notice I'm on the cup car, right? Well, I've got paint for the cup car, but if you scroll down, look, here's my series and league paints. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Cup paints for my teams. Notice I've got matrix silver and nothing selected here. Notice also that I don't have a That 70 show yet. It takes time for
Trading paints.
trading paints and iRacing to sync up. So don't wait till the last minute to load up your paint, okay? Or to set up your team, because it won't show up in here. Now here, if I want to upload a paint, I upload a paint here that's associated with my team. Now, the paint by the team owner is what is used in the race, not the guy that accepts the invite. So whoever the team owner is responsible for setting up the paint for your car. Okay? Everybody get that? So yeah, you've got to typically go way down in trading paints to set up the paint for your team. Okay? And you want to do that as soon as possible, because if you change paint at the last minute, guys, chances are it's not going to show properly in the race. You want to get that paint done and set up, or at least put something in there so trading paints will make the association between the paint and your team anytime you use your team. Okay? Otherwise, who knows what you're going to get. Sometimes it is just the default iRacing paint scheme. Okay? I know we're throwing a lot of information at you, gentlemen, okay? But these are mostly just the bugaboos, okay? And we want to get you to the point where you can create your teams, send out invites, start practicing together, load your paints up, all of that stuff, and feel comfortable doing it. Any one of us that are on this DM, any of the ICs or admins you see, feel free to DM us at any point in time with any kind of questions you might
The
have.
pit exit's
Okay?
clear.
If you guys want, you're more than welcome to join that session and play around. Personally, I'm going to head over to the entry league where I've got some teaching to do tonight, unless we've got questions. And we've got about 10 minutes for questions if you guys want to talk about anything. So everybody's got it. Everybody's a team racing expert, right?
Nope.
The questions will come up the very first attempt.
On race day.
Yeah,
So
on
you-
race day.
One other thing
You
to
mentioned
cover,
earlier-
which is not relevant for what we do in PCA, but I'm sure you're aware that iRacing also holds endurance events. For those events, they use a concept called you have to declare your drivers. So you're forming a team with, say, 4 guys. You have to actually register and declare those drivers before the race starts, because what iRacing does is it takes the iRating of all those drivers, and based on that, it places each team into an appropriate category. Because otherwise, you'd end up with random selections where you got one team with like 8K drivers and one
clear
team
on
with
pit
like
exit. You can push now.
1500K drivers. So for those races, you typically have to declare the drivers that are going to be on the team. And those drivers are expected to all race. So if you register 4 drivers and only 3 of them run, you're going to get disqualified. If you run 3 drivers and the 4th one only does 2 laps, then you're going to get disqualified because
clear.
you're not meeting the fair share requirement. So that's for public lobbies, official endurance races.
We don't do that in TRS, but you need to be aware of it. So just FYI.
So I would
Also-
probably add when they require a declared driver, you can actually join your team as crew. So when it's not declared driver, so what PCA normally does, that crew button is usually grayed out and you can't join it. So if you want a crew or spot for people, you can just join their team, but make sure you don't drive or don't jump in the car. Because otherwise, if you jump in the car, you will be required to hit what's that called again? Fair share.
The fair share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back to the
great
entries
point.
list. It'll show it. It shows like Mike has done 1 lap. Carrie is put to 0 because she's been in the car. But for me, there's still nothing there because I have not jumped in the car. If I jump in the car, I get a value there and I become part of the fair share requirement.
But without doing that, if Joachim wanted, he could just spot for me and Carrie in our
Yep.
race. So if you've got a friend that says, oh, I can't race, but I'll spot for you, or I don't want to race, but I'll help the team, that's all you got to do. Send him an invite and he can join and then not get in the car.
Are incident points for the car or for individual drivers?
Yes.
The car.
They're for the car, but they are tracked separately. So you can see at the end of the day that driver A had 13 X's and driver B had 30 X's. But yeah, if the limit's 50 and your team crosses that limit, iRacing will throw the penalty.
Thank you.
Great question. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, do you have that hosted event up yet?
Yeah, it is. It's in hosted. It's called PCA 70 for 70 demo. And the password is 70, all lowercase, the word, not the numbers.
Thanks, but for tonight.
That is for tonight. It'll go on for a couple more hours if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's ooh.
Guys, something else to
Good
show. If
old-fashioned
you
cup
go
car
to
lockup.
if you go to my view in
Showing the
Discord,
meatball flag.
I'm
We'll need to
sharing
come
my
into the
screen.
pits for repairs.
In your friends list, you can find your friends and you can actually spot from there as well. So even if I haven't even joined the session yet, if I click on Mike Patterson and I click on the steering wheel session, I have the option join session, crew, and crew is grayed out in this case, or watch. So if I was not in the session at all and I was going to spot for
Pit
Mike,
exit's clear.
I could join the session or I could watch as either way. That's another quick way to actually find the session, which is a great tool if there's like an official iRacing event where there's so many variations or what is it, versions of the session running. So you're trying to find where your friend, which session your actual friend is in. You can go through this view. You
Be
can also,
aware. Be aware of the difference between watch and spot.
yeah, that's a timing
When,
difference.
yeah, when you watch, you may very well find yourself about a half a second behind what you see when you spot. iRacing makes sure spotters are as real time as possible. Watchers aren't necessarily there. So you may be watching and say, oh, there's a GTP coming up. And in reality, that GTP car is already next to your driver.
So I'm still sharing my, hold on, let me change my view here. 1 second.
I got a question. Does everybody have to be logged in for the entire race?
No, as a matter of fact, you can disconnect and you can withdraw and then you can come back. Okay? Think of it this way. It has to be that way for those 24-hour races, Rex. Okay? You want people not to have to stay logged in for those 24 hours. They can disconnect and come back and rejoin the session. Any team race allows you to do that. But great question. Great question.
I just was pretending not to be IC today.
Oh, you already knew that. You just had to ask it so people would get the answer, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Unless you want those phone calls at 1 a.m.
That's right. Hey, that really happened, man.
Yeah, we
That's
do that
crazy.
Too. We do that too.
So guys, I'm back in my, sharing my screen again. For the spotter view, for those of you that haven't really set up, one way to set it up is I use far chase. And if you go to, hold on, Control F12, and let me make sure that it's actually in view.
I just want to give everybody a hint too that if you are looking for a team and you haven't posted or something, there's a couple guys who are ICs and non-ICs that run teams. Just reach out to people like that. I think Nikki, myself, I think Mike, Yakum, everybody's on the team.
I can barely hear you, by the way, Rex.
Not just a team, but multiple teams.
So guys, coming back to the camera view, I'm in far chase, and what I do is I go up pretty far back on the X, like -250, and Z is the height in the sky. And then as a final adjustment, I can use the static view to get close or far behind. The Z very high height is what I use to make sure that there's no trees in the way to block your view as the car goes through a corner. So that is one view you can use. I'll go back. Another view you can use is the chopper view, and normally it's a lot closer than what you're seeing here. It'll be like maybe this view, and it'll be on an angle. If you change the Z value to 1000, it's going to put it way up in the sky and it's going to be directly above the car. Gives you a good overview of what's coming from behind and what's coming from ahead. And if you use this in spotter view, you can really help out the guy that's driving.
What's the advantage of using a spotter versus, say, crew chief to do your spotting?
Crew chief
good
or
question,
the iRacing spotter often only really tells you when the car behind is almost there already. And this is especially in multi-class racing. If you're in like the Cayman and you've got like the GTPs coming around, those GTPs are on you in like a heartbeat. iRacing won't tell you until they're a second behind, but I mean, they will be right on you and past you before the spotter has even said anything. If it's a personal spotter, they keep an eye on the relative and they can say, okay, what I usually like is that my spotter tells me when there's 5 seconds back. Then I know, okay, I got to start paying attention to my rearview mirror as well. And then they, for instance, say, okay, you got 2 cars coming 5 seconds back, 2 seconds back. Then I've got the view on it. And then once they've passed, he's going to say, okay, the next one behind is like 20 seconds. So you got some breathing room and time to look forward.
Thanks.
Also, a live spotter, Les, is going to see stuff in front of you that iRacing will probably be late to give a yellow flag for. And that's a great way to get a heads up that they're wrecking in front, like Kerry just did. No.
No wall.
Yeah, they can, for instance, say stay on the left to avoid if there's like a pileup or something that you might not necessarily see.
And the other thing I'd say is like fatigue is real. So if you're like in your second or third stint of a long endurance race, it's helpful to have somebody on the radio with you.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Thanks, guys.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else?
Thank you so much for putting this on for us, giving us a little tutorial. Much appreciated.
No sweat, guys. I'm hoping to see all of y'all sign up a team, man, and let's make this happen. What we really want, and I want to see representation from challenge on up to pro, okay? What we really want is 60 cars on the grid. Can you imagine the show? I mean, just think about it and what that's going to look like on the broadcast. But I need each of you to go out there and make a team, man. Invite somebody, invite a friend. Everybody wins something, man. It's a one-off deal. Let's have some fun.
I hear Jesse Lyons is looking for a teammate.
Yeah, but you should volunteer. Everybody should say, Jesse, you want to race with me?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys, honestly.
Oh,
The
yeah,
best one you can have on the service.
Absolutely. Kerry's correct. If it was up to me, that's all I'd do. If that's all we had, man, I would be there 100% because it's more fun to race with somebody than against somebody. I got to tell you that, man. And to do with somebody and against somebody, that's awesome, man.
You're all clear. Stay behind the line.
All right, guys, I think that's about a wrap. We've put our hour in. Like I said, reach out to any of us if you got any questions or can't figure something out or not sure of something. Just hit us up, man.
Exactly.
Thanks again.
No problem, guys. Hopefully we see a lot of you on the crew. And Kerry, Nikki, Joachim, thank you so much for helping me out.
Of course.
Thank you. You guys did all the heavy lifting here. Great job.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I just showed up late.
Thank you.
But you asked some great questions, Nikki. Made some great points.
Hey, Peter.